Earlier, I spoke to Victor Gao about China's relationship with Singapore. Gao worked as a translator to Deng Xiaoping in the 1980s. That was when the Chinese leader launched sweeping reforms that began to open China up to the outside world. And he told me that Singapore set the tone for those changes.
Well, the passing away of Lee Kuan Yew is truly a momentous event. As far as China is concerned, Lee Kuan Yew has been inspiration for China's reform and opening to the outside world. In 1978, the late paramount leader Deng Xiaoping visited Singapore and met with Lee Kuan Yew for the first time. And he was very much impressed by what he saw in Singapore. And he told Lee Kuan Yew that if the Singaporeans could do this transformation, China indeed would like to do the same on the larger scale. And ever since then, Lee Kuan Yew had kept very close contacts with the Chinese leaders in successive generations of the Chinese leaders, and all the Chinese leaders admired the achievement in Singapore and the great contribution of Lee Kuan Yew. The present Chinese president has emphasized on many occasions that even today China can learn a lot from Singapore in terms of governance and management and modernization, etc. So I would say that Lee Kuan Yew truly has been an inspiration for the Chinese nation in our reform and opening to the outside world.
It is well known that every year large groups of Chinese communist officials travel to Singapore for these study tours. Why is the Singapore model so appealing to China?
Well, I would say the rest of the world actually can learn a lot from the Singapore model. First of all, ever since it achieved independence in 1965, Singapore has maintained stability and has kept good relationship with as many countries as possible. And also economic development has been steady, and Singapore has managed to go through several crises relatively unscathed. And the country has maintained a very clean civil service. And I would say from the Chinese perspective, there is a lot that we can learn in terms, as I mentioned, in terms of governance, management, modernization, industrialization, and also maintaining peace and stability and social order in the country. Therefore, China has been sending groups after groups of civil servants and party officials and SOE officials to be trained in Singapore.
Did Lee Kuan Yew identify the rise of China before any other world leader?
I would say he did. Let me give you one example. Lee Kuan Yew was inspirational in the sense that he urged all the Singaporeans not only to learn English as the working language for the nation, but also as far as possible to learn Chinese. And you know, in Chinese language there are many, many dialects. But for many, many years ago, Lee Kuan Yew decided that the language that they need to learn is the standard Mandarin language, which is the standard spoken language in China today. I think this helped the Singaporeans a great deal in bridging the gap between Singapore and mainland China in particular, and enhanced communication and exchanges with each other. And this is one reason why I think learning from Singapore in a very pragmatic manner serves China also very, very effectively.